Hey everybody, it's Chris Eads, aka Wootini, here with another weekly gay gamer video podcast. And this week we're going to be talking about Comic-Con, because that happened. This was a new experience for me. This was the first time that I attended New York Comic-Con as a fan. The past few years I've been getting press badges. As I mentioned in an earlier episode a long time ago, I don't know why I didn't think of it before, that I could get a press badge for Comic-Con. Because it's not just comics, there's lots of video games and TV and movie and whatnot. So, since it was a video game site, Gay Gamer let me get a press badge for Comic-Con for a few years there. That was super awesome. But now there is no site, so I am now just a fan. So I had to actually go online and buy my tickets and wait in the online queue with everybody else, and it was horrible. And then I was horrified because on Friday, I have a cold. Well, I'm getting over a cold now. So I was not feeling well, so I said, you know what, I'm not going to get up early and get in the long line and wait in the long line to get into Comic-Con. I'll just sleep in, get some rest, and then go, and it'll be fine. So I got there at like 10 to 12, thinking, they'll open up all the entrances, it'll be fine, I could just walk right in, the way I used to with my press badge. I start trying to head for that entrance, and there's a guy on the corner saying, no, the line's down on 34th Street. And I'm like, what? So, I have to go all the way down to 34th Street, around the corner, all the way down the block to try to find the end of the line. To be fair, once I did find the end of the line, it didn't move a lot at first, but once we hit, like, the corner, we just basically just walked straight up there, stopping only for, like, you know, the traffic lights to cross the streets. They do tease you by making you go down 35th Street, where you think you're heading for the Javits Center, but then they make you go up, before you cross the street to the Javits Center, you have to go back up to 37th Street. So, they fake you out. But, it moved really quickly, and once you hit 37th Street, you literally just cross the road and just walk right into the Javits Center. So, it was fine. And I think it was like 10 or 15 minutes from the point when I got in the back of the line to when I was in New York Comic Con. So that wasn't bad at all. And on Saturday when I went, I kind of overslept because I turned off my alarm, because I just wanted to sleep a little more than the 9 minutes the snooze would let me. I said, let me just sleep for another half hour. Over an hour later, I wake up and I'm like, bah! So, it was like 12:30 when I got there on Saturday, so I literally just went up to 37th Street myself and walked over, and I didn't see any lines anywhere, and I just walked right in. Easy peasy. I did feel like I should take advantage of the time that I was there because I had paid for my ticket, as opposed to when I have my press badge where I'm like, I'll go in late, I'll leave early, like whatever. I mean, as long as I don't have like an appointment or there's not a panel or something I'm scheduled to attend. But weirdly, I still treated it the same way. Even though I was paying for my ticket, I still just sort of walked around, saw awesome cosplayers and took pictures, and bought stuff. Like, I didn't attend any panels, because I don't like to attend the panels, because you have to stand in line for like an hour so that you could go to a panel, and there's really nothing that I want to see so badly. Like, I don't care enough about Stranger Things that I want to stand in line for 2 hours to go and see these people from across a room, you know, talk about whatever. I don't, like, there's nothing I'm really like, So, I just put on my costume. As you might remember from my FlameCon episode, that was where I debuted my gender-bent Power Girl outfit. So I wore my gender-bent Power Girl outfit, and it was very popular. Much more popular than my Aqualad costume, I have to say. Because, you know, that was the old-school Aqualad costume that nobody really recognized. Just a bunch of old people recognized that one. Although I did notice that in this costume I also had quite a few older gentlemen asking to take pictures of me, or with me. Also, there were a couple of Harley Quinns that, well, there was this one Harley Quinn who was like, oh my god, I need a picture with you, because there was apparently a Power Girl Harley Quinn comic book team-up that I did not know about. But apparently that was a thing. So she was all excited to get a picture with me. And like minutes after I put on my costume on Friday, this girl dressed as Enchantress from the Suicide Squad movie was like, "Oh my god, I need a picture with you. That is amazing. I love your outfit. You have made my con. Thank you." And I was like, "Okay." And she asked me, actually, if I was going to be there on Sunday because she was going to be dressed as Harley on Sunday and she wanted to get a picture with me. Sadly, I was not. I only got Friday and Saturday tickets. Sunday, I basically just laid on the couch and slept as much as I could. But, and on Friday, at the end of the day, as I was going to go and change back into my street clothes, this guy dressed as Daredevil from the first season TV costume with the bandana mask thing ran after me going, "I need a picture, I need a picture." Because he and his friend, he's like, "We love the gender bent cosplays, it's so great, and then we were just talking about that exact iteration, it's so cool that you did this, it's great." Because I would walk the show floor, and like, I would get, people would be like, "Oh my god, that's hilarious, yeah, thumbs up," you know. And that was really, I was like, oh, you know. Because it's not impressive cosplay. I don't do the impressive... I mean, I saw impressive cosplay. Like, people with prosthetics. There were people, you know, with, like, massive groups of people with, like, super elaborate costumes. Like, this great group of X-Men. The Thundercats. Like, they were amazing. So, I'm doing very simple, thrown-together amateur cosplay, so... to get people to say, you know, "That's a really clever idea, it's very funny, I love what you did, that's a very funny costume, very enjoyable." I will say that my favorite cosplay that I saw the whole weekend, Friday and Saturday, this guy was dressed as Kitty Pryde from that famous panel of Uncanny X-Men, where she sang, "Professor Xavier is a jerk." And he was dead on. He had the jacket, the pants, the gloves. He had the word balloon over his head. It was fantastic. Favorite cosplay of the whole weekend. So good. But I still had fun, even though I was sick, so I didn't have a whole lot of energy. Because once you get there, you're into it, and, you know, whatever. I didn't play any games. You know, like Square Enix was there, and Capcom was there, and Konami was there, but I didn't try anything, because I would have had to wait in line for, like, hours just to try something, because I don't have the press badge, so I can't skip lines, I can't make appointments, so I was like, you know what, and there's nowhere for me to report except in this podcast, so sorry. I have nothing to report. I mean, there was a Final Fantasy 15 demo, but I don't know if it was different than what you could already play. And there was a Resident Evil 7 VR demo, which would have been really cool to play, except it would have scared me and I would have peed myself, probably. But there were all these VR demos, and they all had, like, massive long lines that were, like, capped every time you walked by them. The only line I did stand in was at the DC booth. They had a photo op where you could get yourself superimposed in with, like, the Justice League movie cast, or, like, kids could do, like, the superhero girls, and I apologize for that construction if you can hear that. So I went, and while I should have gotten the movie cast because I'm a person, I decided to go with the comic book Rebirth group shot because it just was funnier. And that was a long line. I swear I was in that line for almost an hour, because it moved really slowly. Because while I appreciate that they took the time to shrink you and size you and position you just so that it came out good, it just made the line go really slowly. I also bought a bunch of stuff. I bought new t-shirts, which you'll see for the next couple weeks. I tried not to buy too many t-shirts, though, just a few, because I have too many t-shirts to begin with. I also got these amazing old romance magazines from the 60s that are just fantastic. I mean, like, they're so good. And I got this. I got a plush cat bus. Obviously not to scale with my Totoro, but whatever. And it's funny because I spent, like, most of Friday just, like, scouting around and just looking at stuff. And then not spending any money, and I was like, wow, am I going to get away with not spending any money? But then, like, the last hour or so, I kept seeing things, and I'm like, that. And it was bad. So, it was fun, even if I was sick. I don't know what I might cosplay as next year. We'll see. I'd like to do the Earth 2 Flash, but I'd have to figure out how to make the helmet. That's the tricky part. Everything else I can put together. It's the helmet that's the tricky part. But we'll see. Oh, speaking of Earth 2, I almost forgot. I did want to mention one thing. People love my costume. People took a lot of pictures of my costume. People thought it was hilarious. They thought it was really funny. But on Friday, I was rather disappointed that I didn't see a single other Power Girl to take a picture with. Because usually there's Power Girls walking around. Because usually these models will dress as Power Girl with the boob window. And they'll put on a blonde wig. And they'll put on the Power Girl costume. And I was planning on taking pictures with them. But I guess Power Girl's over. Because this year it's frickin' all Harley all the time. And I appreciated that there were at least a few Harley Quinns who were like original comic book Harley and not movie Harley. Because it was pretty much all movie Harleys. But I couldn't find a single Power Girl. And on Saturday afternoon, right as I got to the con, the DC Cosplayers East group was doing their group photo shoot for Earth 2. And I went to that area, I went down to that photo shoot, hoping to participate, but also hoping there'd be another Power Girl. When I got there, I was told the general DC photo shoot is at 1:45. And I'm like, oh. He's like, this is just for Earth 2. And I didn't protest, but I was a little put out by that. I said, you know, oh, I'm looking for a Power Girl. I was hoping there's a Power Girl. And he's like, oh, there is one. So I went outside and got a picture with this Power Girl, but was not invited to take part in that photo shoot, which I was a little put out by, because on Friday I was in, like, the big group photo of all the DC characters, but I was, like, way in the back, you couldn't see me, and so I was like, alright, whatever, because there's just too many, and I thought, oh, the Earth 2 shoot would be less people, you'd be more visible, and they lined up the heroes, and I was like, oh, so they just want the authentic cosplay, they don't want crossplay or gender-bent cosplay in there, they just want the proper cosplay. So if I did Earth 2 Flash, I could participate in that photo, but because I was a gender-bent version of the character, I don't get to be in it. I was a little perturbed by that, just saying. So that's enough of Comic-Con. I did want to I've gone on too long already, but I did just want to mention one thing as far as gaming. As promised, I did download the free copy of the Resident Evil HD Remaster on PlayStation Plus for October, and I did try it. And it was funny. Like, like I said, I haven't played Resident Evil since, like, it first came out, so, like, I don't remember much about it. So, like, the whole opening, I'm like, this feels like the right opening, just instead of, like, cheesy live-action video, it's now cheesy CGI video characters. But, like, I selected Chris to play as Chris, and the game starts, I'm nosing around, there's that first zombie attack where he turns and looks at you, comes at you. Chris doesn't start with a gun, he started with a knife. So he's going, and the zombie eats him, and I die. And I'm like, okay, well, that's obnoxious. And I said, you know what, let me start over, I'll play as Jill, because Jill will have a gun, and the gun will be easier. So I go and I play as Jill. I get to the same scene, I shoot at that zombie, the zombie still comes at me and grabs me, and he eats me. And I die again. And I was just like, what the F? Like, I don't remember this being that difficult. And in the difficulty options, I chose normal. There's like hard, normal, and easy. And I'm like, am I going to have to pick easy just so I can actually play the game? Because that kind of sucks. Because I don't remember dying at that first zombie like that. Maybe I did, I don't know. But I'm just like, I'm shooting, and like nothing's working, and I couldn't get him to die, and I'm just like, what the hell? a friend of mine on Twitter was like, oh, just run back to Barry. And I'm like, I don't remember having to run back to Barry. That just seems weird. So I haven't gone back yet. After I died, I literally tried it one time, and then both characters, and died both times, and then I turned it off, and I haven't gone back to it since, in days. So I'll try it again, but we'll see. I've been sick, so I'm not in the mood to play games. I don't want to do anything active. I just kind of want to lay on the couch and watch something unfold, you know? So I've just been watching movies and TV shows. So, come back next week, and I will talk about maybe some more Resident Evil. And I do have updates. I've done some stuff in No Man's Sky, but there's no time to talk about that now. So, next week. Alright? I'll see you then. Have a good time. Bye!